Waco and McLennan counties emergency management says that Bosque River levels are beginning to finally recede after several inches of rain fell across central Texas in just a few hours on Sunday morning. And that's where we find our own Mike Rogers. And Mike, can you give us a feel of what the situation is looking like on the ground on the north side of our viewing area?
Yeah, Chris, if you want to get just a feel of how powerful 6 inches of rain is, this is the Lake Waco outlet that is actually flowing into the lake as we speak, causing that water to go up over banks, over gazebos, into people's yards where there are trailers that had to be moved just for safety precautions, as the emergency management coordinator is still waiting for a safe time to then release that water from the lake downriver without harming any other communities.
The U.S. Army Corps will make the decision based on their water management plan on how they want to release that water and get it downstream without causing further impacts.
A job easier said than done, as Tim Jeske and the rest of the Waco-McLennan County Emergency Management Team begin their coordinated efforts with the Army Corps of Engineers to relieve some of the major flooding from Lake Waco's banks.
More people are killed in Texas every year by flooding events than anything else, and so we wanted to make sure we kept people safe.
Several roadways leading to the lake shore remain shut down out of an abundance of caution. Jeske estimates between 6 and 9 inches of rainfall filled the lake in just a 2-day span over the weekend.
As some people experienced this weekend, we evacuated campers and we closed down campgrounds, and it's just, the reason is to keep people safe and prevent the loss of and damage of, property and life.
Waco Lake Manager Michael Champagne says inflowing rivers have crested and are on their way down. But over the next several days, the lake will continue to creep up in volume. And the call to release the water will only come when it's safe for downstream communities on the Brazos.
Those decisions on when to release and how much is our hydrologists in our district office that are constantly running models and coordinating with other agencies to figure out how we can safely get the lake back down to normal.
With how bad the weather and water inflows were, Champagne says there weren't many people that needed to be evacuated from the area when the rains began. But assessing the impact from the weekend's rains will come with time.
Once the water comes off the asphalt and it looks like the road is safe, we still have to leave it for about 2 weeks because that water has saturated the base structure of that road. And so driving on it is just could cause it to give out, and it also could just cause damage that is, much more expensive to repair.
And Chris, all of that rain, such a strong current that is flowing into Lake Waco as we speak. The emergency management coordinator tells me it still may be a few days before they can finally decide that it is safe enough to release some of that water from the lake downriver. But it's a juggling game because they don't want to release too much and possibly harm some of those downstream communities, Chris.
Yeah, great coverage, Mike. We really got to see from your visuals how bad the situation is. Thank you.